welcome back to Buy Size Trading. I'm going to bring to you the bearish count and the bullish count of Bitcoin. I myself remain bullish, okay? Just because I'm showing you a bearish count does not mean I'm bearish. It just needs to be shown, okay? So I've projected here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and within these ones you can see quite clearly there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 followed by an ABC complex, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within this 3, and an ABCDE or WXYXZ, and then within this 4 you can see a 1, 2, 3, 4 questionable 5 here at 100k. Now whether that can continue to further is a different case because we're not in here yet. Okay, but these are all very obvious to me, but it's very obvious we're coming in for a 5 of 5 of 5, which I'll go on to a little bit later, you know, further up here, in my opinion. Okay, so the lower targets and the upper targets for Bitcoin are this level, which I just believe is very unlikely, but it's still likely. Okay, it's still, it still could happen. There's no impossibilities in trading, as we all know. And the second target is within the middle of this channel, and obviously this is just taken from the absolute low to the absolute high of this move for Bitcoin, and that sits in around 43, 38k, and it's really nice, you know, support. Now that's just for the bearish count, okay? There is a bullish count as well, which I'm just going to go into very, very quickly. Obviously, as we said, this was a very obvious, clear 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 doesn't go in anywhere lower than the 1, and then within this, okay, as we were saying previously, there is a 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by a ABC flat, which is a really, really lovely ABC flat. You couldn't get any more perfect than that. It only shows on Bybit as well, and that's why I like Bybit. As you can see, it's just a really nice, you know, technically beautiful ABC flat, followed by a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Okay, and then within that 4 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there. So we're now coming into wave 4 of this final count of primary and minute. 4 primary, minute, grand super cycle 5 would be up here. If we've just rejected from primary 3, okay. So the line in the sand for this, so I'm going to put this on here. The line in the sand, is here. So if we break below, we get the bearish count, most likely, because all of those other Elliott waves have been invalidated. If we're looking at this from an Elliott wave perspective, okay. Now, if that is the case, and we bottom out here, I'm going to show you the trade in a second. Then we'll be looking up to wave 5 as the lower target, and the upper target being within 350k, but it's more likely to come here. And I do expect, I personally favor this count very, very much. It's my favorite count for now because it looks right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within this 4, 5 within this primary down to 4. Okay, and that primary started at the very, very beginning here. So it started here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, all being grand super cycle. 5 of 5 of 5. So when we top out here, or if we top out here, there's going to be some disgusting drop. So, you know, we haven't topped out there yet. Okay. 100k psychological level. Look, we've been in and around that level. I have said for a long period of time that I expect those lows to be made. Yes, I thought 93k was looking amazing just based on that candle there, you know, and that's why you should never jump to conclusions based on candles. Okay, I've made that mistake too many times before, and I made that mistake again. But when we were around here, coming up to 100k, I said what's likely to happen is, you know, Michael Saylor has all of his parties, and we drop down and touch the top of the CME gap. That's where I thought we would bottom, at the top of the CME gap, but we've actually filled that now, which leads me to believe that we're going to go a little bit lower here to that, you know, minute count and primary count of wave 4. It just looks proper good. It just looks proper good, and I'll show you why. But if, like as I said, if we drop below there, then the bearish count has initiated. Key level line in the sand. Okay. So here's going to be the trades. Here are the trades of where I think we can look on the medium sort of time frame. Okay. Let's find that VWAP. I'll put the VWAP in for now, unless it's already here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, hide that. Perfect. So what I'm looking at here is an extremely strong VWAP from the start of the impulse, from wave 2 to 3. It's a very strong VWAP there. Okay. It sits just below the key level. It's very, very key level. Key level. So if we break below, we get the bearish count. But it sits just above the key level, the anchor VWAP, and it aligns with this weekly NPOC really, really nicely. And it aligns with these NPOC daily data. There's a huge amount of confluence there. So if I go down on the time frames, we can quite clearly see we're really looking quite bearish since the highs. Well, market structure wise, as you can see, look like lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, potentially here. Okay. So bearish market structure at the moment. Made some clear lows and some clear highs. I could put the PVP on in a second as well to show you like we are, you know, overall one time framing down, which I'm just going to load now. Okay, we'll come to that in a second. Obviously got to increase that number of ticks, 150, because as you know, BTC Bybit has increased their number of ticks just to make life really nice for us. But no, you can see since 100k, you know, since January, we've been one time framing down, and here's another one time framing down as well. All right. So on the weekly, on the daily, we're overlapping, one time framing up, which is fine because we'll do that quite a few times, and we have done that quite a few times. But let me again just increase the row size to, let's just say 150, just to get a better idea of what we can get here. Okay. So yeah, look, we've overall been one time framing down, but it doesn't mean that you can get oscillations on the way up. It's done that to like 300. So where's the highs here? Okay, maybe more. 500 then. 500 ticks per row. Mad. Okay, there's the high. One time framing down, then we overlapped up. One time framing down, overlapped up. One time framing down, overlapped up. One time framing down, overlapped up. And one time framed up completely. And then one time framed up, and then one time framed down. Now we're sort of like within this range here, right? And then on the weekly, it is quite clearly one time framing down since the high. So yeah, I'm not bearish. There's no way I'm bearish. I just want new lows, or new, you know, a somewhat little bit of a pump before new lows are made. And that's not a bad thing at all. It just means that we can load up. Okay. And then on the monthly, Now I've got to increase tick size again. Let's do 400. There we go. One time framing up on the daily, one time framing down on the weekly, and then in sort of value, no, we're not anymore. On the monthly, we're slightly overlapping. One time framing down. So as you can see, one time framing up on the daily, overlapping the volume profiles, one time framing down on the weekly, and then overlapping, one time frame down, just overlapping. You know, it's not the actual volume profile. So actually, I'm just going to say one time framing down on the monthly, which is not a bad thing because we can see that, you know, that changes over time, and the daily can have a massive impact on the monthly. The monthly has only just started, really. We're midway through. So that's not going to change, is it? Okay. So yeah, let's go back to this, and then I'm going to show you this. So this is the long I would look for here, with invalidation below this level here. It's a very high risk to reward trade. Okay. And then this one's quite high probability as well, in that, I'll show you. I've given this before, I just want to show it again, you know, just because, you know, it's quite easy to get bearish. Yeah, but I'll start loading up around here, right? But you know, it is I need to be quite careful with what I say, because it can be taken out of context, I think, and, you know, some people will view it in the wrong way. That's not to say that it's bad at all, but it just is what it is. So invalidation is just above that wick high, because if we take that wick high, I would expect to then take this wick high and then look to that 96k level, which I'll then look to short, which is another huge level for me. I mean, look how much market structure has been built up here. Okay, and then I'll take that down to this level first. Max pain sort of scenario, you know, ranging gives max pain, because people get so bullish down here, bearish down here at the lows, thinking it's going to go to like 20k, and then people get super bullish, you know, just on a small pump, just like today. I mean, big Michael Saylor, for goodness sake. Let me just put this in quick. It aligns with so many different things, you know. There's a golden pocket MPOC. It's a perfect trade. It's a really, really nice trade. Like, but I mean, if that doesn't hold, then obviously we'll be looking for new highs at 96. So yeah, invalidation above this high, because if one, then two. Okay. So yes, this short is the golden pocket of this local range here that has been put in, you know, on the 1st of March. And it aligns with this NPOC weekly as well, which you can only find on EXO charts. So it's a pretty difficult one to find. I don't think there's any other NPOCs there either, but we can check that right now. Can't we? Can also check it on here. Okay, there's an MPOC at 90, and there's this is on the weekly. Again, it doesn't show on TradingView, but it does, you know, when it doesn't show on TradingView, that's the level you want to look out for on EXO charts, because the key institutional investors look on EXO charts. It is a high volume node on TradingView, but it's nothing else than that. Right, it might show on TPO at some point, but you know, on the weekly it's coming in here. So let's change that to the daily and see if we can find any nice NPOCs kicking about. Yeah, we can see an NPOC there. We can see an NPOC right here too. Okay, it's another daily sitting in at 92. Okay, failing that, we'll be looking again to the highs. God, since Bybit have put in this new higher ticks, it's made life pretty difficult for everyone, hasn't it? Bloody bastards. Okay, so I mean, that's an MPOC. So, does that align with anything? Anyway, the reason why I like this 96k level, I'll show you. If we reclaim 88, you know, maybe less likely that we do. Come back to here, make sure this is in place properly. Okay. So yeah, and let me just make sure this is on HCL3. HLC3, perfect, lovely, higher, lower, closed, all three together. But yeah, the reason why I like 96k is because it would be the golden pocket of this entire move, down, number one. Number two, you have some MPOCs there as well, and you have a weekly candle close too. Where are we at? Horizontal, no. Horizontals, yeah, there we go. So we have a weekly, a daily, and I think we have some MPOCs as well. Yeah, monthly MPOC coming in at 96k. Another MPOC coming in at the golden pocket, a daily, and what have you. Okay. So, first resistance is. Let me take this back to the lower time frame. Yeah. First resistance is 88. We breach that and we take out this wick, then we'll be looking for 96. If we take 96, then we'll be looking to 102. Monthly, daily level. There's possibly some MPOCs that I haven't put in there too, which is shame on me. But look, if we're reclaiming 102, then we're probably looking higher, okay? These are all the different possible scenarios I'm giving you. But if we don't reclaim 88, then, you know, we're still bearish, we're still in a downtrend, we're still making lower lows, all right? And therefore, I'll be looking to this level. But, you know, along the way, it doesn't mean that it's going to come straight down to here. It could just go, you know, more lower lows, more lower highs, more lower lows. So, you know, something along these lines, I'll show you. Lower lows. And then again, lower lows and lower highs. Okay. So this area here is key. Going below that initiates the bear market, which is not really what we're looking for. And to be honest with you, look, fear and greed is at its freaking highest at the moment. The fear and greed index is at its absolute highest. Sorry, lowest. There's a lot of fear in the market than you've never seen for the last 2 or 3 years in the entire bear market. I can try and show you if that's possible. Let's see if we can get there. Bear market. Fear and greed index. So I'm going to show you this, and it's the Bitcoin price is in grey, and the fear and greed index is in orange, yellow, green, okay, and red. When we were at, what was this price? 26k. We were, what was this? 34. You know, minimum 34. 32. Okay, we came up extreme greed. And then we came down to, on the Bitcoin price, 57. And then ultimately, we came down to 54. And a fear and greed index of 26, was it? Yeah, $53,000, but it was even lower than that, I know that. And 26, okay? And then we've come up here, extreme greed here at the 100k level. And now we've experienced more fear than we had when we were at 26k. So fear is at 22. But the Bitcoin price is in and around the 82k mark. It did come down to like 14 or 15. I remember seeing it, and I was like, wow, you know, that's pretty low, lower than I've seen it for a long time, a long time. Okay, so ultimately, I'm looking higher from here, just a bit, little pump. You know, you can see the fears starting to come back to normal. Sort of still fearful. I mean, less people are investing. Yesterday, extreme fear. Yearly high 89. What was that here? 89. Fuck me. 91 at 70k, 73k, and then 89 sort of here, around there at 90. So yeah, I do think, you know, we're going to find a bottom pretty soon, whether that's now, but I really want to see this fear and greed index go down to like 10, and people's just not interested in it whatsoever. You talk to your friends and, you know, you ask them about Bitcoin and they say, huh, Bitcoin, isn't that at like 30k or like 65k? And you're like, huh, yeah, I'm buying it. And they will then say, huh, you're crazy, dude. Why are you buying Bitcoin right now, you idiot? And you'll be the one laughing, okay? Because that's the best indicator for me. All right. So I hope that covers everything. Yeah. There's no need to get bearish at all, really. You know, if we're in this area and we don't go below here, there's almost like there's a very high chance we'll make new all-time highs to come. All right. It's a very high chance as long as we remain in this area. I'm going to hide everything now. I'm going to show you why. Just look at that chart, man. Just look at the chart. It's one of the most bullish assets in the bloody world, for goodness sake. Look at this. Just up. Just freaking up, mate. Just up. Just up. You know. 3 to 4. Start off wave 3 to 4. What is that coming at? The trend line? 68. 65k. Perfect. If you want to maintain that. Anyway, so no, sorry, I just deviated there for a bit. Look at this chart, all right? It's not unusual to see 30% retraces. We saw it here. This is like 50%, wasn't it? 60, 50%. Yeah, 55%. Okay, and then we saw new all-time highs. You know, what I'm expecting is about 40%. I'll show you what I mean by that. 40% brings us down and in and around there, which takes price to, let me just get the 40% exactly, you know, 40% exactly will bring us in and around 60k, 66k, which is above my line in the sand, which sits in at 65k. That 40% retrace is exactly what I want. Doesn't mean it has to happen, obviously. Look, just look at the chart on the monthly and the weekly right now. On the weekly, it looks amazing. On the monthly, it also looks fantastic. Okay, look, high highs, high lows, all the way. Still high. But, as I said, line in the sand sits in at 65k. We go below that, bear market start. Oh, there you go. Below 65k, line in the sand. And that trend line comes back from the start of wave 3 to wave 4. So I believe we're still in wave 5. Or 5. We're about to hit wave 4, intermediate, and minute to come up to the grand super cycle, wave 5 of 5 of 5, sitting in at anywhere between 137 to, on the weekly, sitting anywhere between 137 all the way up to 350. But that's, you know, I'm not looking at that, I'm looking at this one. So yeah, I hope that covers everything for today. Don't think I'm extremely bearish, because I'm not. I'm very bullish, still very bullish. If I say some stuff, I really don't mean it. You know, I'm just on a lower time frame. I mean, just let's form new lower lows before we make lower highs, and that's just minute in scale compared to what we could get to. And I'll show you how big wave 1 could be right now. Sorry, wave 5 could be right now. Anywhere between here and here. That brings it up to 127. From here, it brings it up to 121. Or 117. It's interesting. 117 was one of my Elliott Wave counts, but anyway, doesn't mean I don't believe new all-time highs can come, such as if you look at ETH, for example. Bruh, that could do some very special things, couldn't it? In the long term. In the long term? Huh? 10,000? Where's Sol? 500. Sol. Would it be stupid to look for 500 Sol? Send it all to the bloody moon. Would it be stupid to look for that? Does that look stupid to you? Doesn't look stupid to me. Looks fun to me. Sitting at 8 all the way up to 500. That's a nice big profit. Okay. ETH to 10,000. Sol to 500. BTC to 137k. Send it all to the moon. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Give this video a like if you can. If you can't, that's fine. And if you want to join the bite-sized trading community, then let's go. Thanks, guys. Bye.